Taking the Vex's security lattice offline revealed something, Guardian. There's a massive dampening field that extends to the area we know 3 is behind. It's a barrier to entry, but from these readings, that isn't its purpose. Rather, it's stopping anything from getting out.
I'm seeing that too. It's the same type of quarantine protocol the Vex use to close off damaged portions of their network.
They must want to prevent the singularity expanding too. But we'll need to remove it to get to 3.
I remember something else now. A hooked request. There's a message I'm to remember here. Oh, it feels like a decompression, like plugged ears. What I mean is the 9 are holding something back from me. I think I know. I remember. Or will. I want to help.
Orin? That you?
Yes. There. And here. I was expecting Ikora's tone.
Right, I'm patching her in. Look, we left off on the wrong foot. And I know right before you run off with the Guardian to stomp Vex into dust ain't the best time. But I'm sick of counting seconds not taken for words that should have been said. Someday soon, I'd like to clear the air. Just watch your back out there. House's Archon's still at large. There's trouble brewing, and I think you're in the middle of it.
Where we need to be. I think the Vex seek the 9, through a trace of their influence. Their operation is coiled wires, but with the Guardian, we can cut through. When they pushed out the house, they claimed a capsule of quantum threads. If we want to know why we were brought here, we need it.
You're a tad late for this skirmish. Or early. Either way, you must have seen the Vex going about their deterministic routines by now. They're dug in, and trying to assimilate everything around them. They mean to turn a sphere to a circle here, so to speak. We have an advantage, in that the Vex who are exposed to dark matter find themselves caught in a thick, yellow confusion. The presence of the Nine here resists Vex probing with dense air, but it's thinning. We need to address this. I haven't been able to get close enough for a detailed assessment, but you can.
The dampening field signal is coming from this direction, but it looks like there's a branching point.
I see it. They're disseminating the dampening signal to hundreds of frames. This is a code fix. They've recognized their vulnerability to the Nine's energy and are adjusting.
It's still only noise. Tear down the signal and they'll die in the quiet.
I think we can get through here now. The signal's getting stronger, and it looks like I was wrong before. The dampening broadcast isn't emitting from one point, it's three. Wait, there's something else. There's an old colonial research terminal still running from when the Ionians landed here. I didn't notice it until we were close, but it looks like the Vex are trying to access it.
Interesting. Let's kill two birds with one stone. Bring down the dampening broadcast, and in the chaos, we'll crush their incursion on the old colony systems.
Your plan is cracked knuckles. I like it. I'm glad we're taking the direct route. Without you, Guardian, my steps would be mouse squeaks in the floorboard. I've always been more gauntlets and thunder.
We don't have time to be anything but gate crashers. It's the Guardian's forte anyway. If you're looking for quiet, Orin, come back to the city with us when this is over. Rebuild your life in your own hands.
The city sounds like bitter medicine. We'll see. is buzzing.
That is not a tower. The broadcasts are coming from those giant minotaurs. Stay low, Guardian. Look, another concentration of dark matter. Might help keep us out of harm's way. I'm detecting shield projectors nearby, but it's protected by a security lens. One step at a time, Guardian. This should help us get to the security lens.
Check their shields. The interference is dying down.
Let the pine lance splinter, Guardian! Charge! The Vex mind curdles, and the dampening field weakens.
Orin, contact the 9. Punch through that Vex interference.
I see a flat vision of you, Guardian. A timely message. I see it. You. The message as a weapon. The weapon is the message. Fate forged. 9 hammer strikes ring. Scattered sparks. Cupped in hands. A weapon. Quenched in slick oil. I see the outline of sharp leaden frost. All that surrounds it is fluid and easily cut away.
Establishing uplink. Wait. These are detailed records of the collapse.
They catalogue the Nine's presence as much as the collapse. The Vex study seeds planted in the past to understand how the Nine wove plots around the paracausal.
This data is a playbook for emulating the 9. Orin, do they know we would stop the Vex here?
Of course. They know that we need to move the Vex aside to reach the singularity. 3. Agency is a quantum indeterminate. Known hope. I remember they spoke like that.
I'm glad your head's clearing up. I quantum indeterminate that soon you'll be able to make more sense of this than I can.
Only the quarantine is between us and our answers. I can hear victory screaming like fire.
Lodi. The Guardian found an archive of analytical data the Ionians had recorded during the collapse. I think you deserve to see it.
Really? Miss Ray, that's incredible. Anything, and I mean anything that fills in the gaps between then and now would be mighty appreciated.
I think we're dealing with the inner orbits. Dangling an answer from a string is as clear as they get. Sun through Mars. The 9 are tethered by sentience and Sol's celestial bodies. They have a lot of time to bicker. The inner want to talk, the outer less so. It's an impasse.
So we're just swept up in the tide of a grand cosmic plan?
No. Placed. With intention. I, to mentor the new emissary. Drifter's been used for years. The Guardian, something yet to be. And you, Ikora, arranged to hear the message you were promised.
I don't plan on being a sacrificial lamb for the 9. Our destiny isn't up to some unknowable architect. It's ours.
A lot of moving radiolaria beneath the surface. Are they trying to assimilate Kepler?
We can't allow a Vex conversion to happen. Our own investigation aside, the Ionians call this place home.
We won't save them from the singularity just to lose them to the Vex. Crush the eye of the needle, the thread will choke.
The Vex here aren't a splinter faction. The conductor is leading them.
Oh, Sundaresh. Her motives smack of unfinished business and desperation.
If she's here in person, it can't be good. Last we saw her, we learned how cruel she could be, even to her loved ones.
You mean Shioma? I remember the two of them were lost in the Vex network. How is this what became of them?
Guardian, that machine looks like another time-lost invitation, similar to the one that empowered you before.
If the 9 want to give you power, who are we to refuse?
Now that's something. I can see you now. When you're all spherical like that, it's almost like a star in the sky. We're connected through a chain of dark matter. It's It's in everything.
If it's a chain linking to your enemies, use it to pull them apart.
A little violent, but the situation calls for it.
That Vex mind was controlling the flow of radiolaria. Without it, their assimilation of Kepler will stall.
I know Maya Sundaresh and her schism. This shield was an anti-paracausal shell. It is a spark of the Nine, derived from their power. I recognize its shallow anxiety. Kepler harbors their influence.
You aren't suggesting they're helping each other? The Conductor and the Nine?
No. This place has always been touched by the Nine. The Vex exploit it somehow. I can put this together, Ikora. I promise.
I thought most Vex malfunctioned when they were exposed to dark matter. But that new shielding incorporated it.
The Nine don't dabble in coincidence, and everything here is lining up too well. If the Vex are stealing power, the Nine are at least allowing it.
I'd rather not think of the implications of that.
You've lived too long to carbonate in guesses. This time was planned, but not for the Vex. I remember that much.
You got me, 3. I'm paying attention now. I hate these even more.
I agree. This part always makes my shell itch. I actually don't feel you when we're in one of these Guardian. Let's move quick.
Focus, Ray. Here and now. You're entering the Vex exclusion zone, Guardian. Find how they're co-opting the Nine's power and put a stop to it.
Deep scans are picking up dark matter and deep mantle drilling. This place looks like a quarry geared towards mining out the anomaly's power.
So they're using 3 on the other side to strengthen their shields? Can't remove all the dark matter, but we can neutralize the threat long enough to push deeper into the canyons. Orin, how does dark matter relate to the Nine? My understanding is it's non-reflective and has odd qualities, but is still natural.
The Nine are, in simple terms, made of dark matter. It tangles with enough mass, like they do.
So the Vex are tapping dark matter from the anomaly, and that matter is tangled with the Nine's power? That must be what the Vex are keeping contained. Some live wire that lets them tap into whatever the Nine were doing and reprogram it.
carrying a lot of energy. Probably enough to shatter that conflux pylon. That should lower the barrier and let us out.
You are here. This is where they refine their power.
Wait, I'm picking up Elixir signatures. The House of Exile just ignited a glimmer drill.
One enemy force stealing the Nine's power is enough. Shut down their operation. Then we deal with the Vex.
That's the last of the exiles. Now for the Vex. Guardian, you're looking for a series of conversion engines tied to conflux pylons.
Like I said, Guardian. Leave it in flames.
That's the last converter. Refiner. Whatever. The Vex can't convert any more dark matter. Wait. Vex mine incoming!
The Overseer, who holds Hourglass Sands.
I bet they break just the same.
The Titan in me is blushing.
Shield! Our weapons won't work!
Need the Nine's power to punch through.
would the Vex need the Nine for shielding? I've seen a Minotaur phase through time to dodge an attack.
Against something paracausal, that phasing is a coin flip. The fourth dimension doesn't have that hindrance.
Knowing the Nine can subvert our agency is bad enough. But you're saying they can predict futures the Vex can't?
The Vex find a future that suits them. The Nine engineer one through. Intermediaries and pressure.
Surely they follow some rules.
Ikora, I know what it feels like to have your autonomy brushed aside. That woman is dead, and Lodi worked hard to protect her memory. But in the eyes of the Nine, you exist simultaneously. A constant.
Stop, Orin. These borders matter. I know who I am. Maya's Vex co-opting Nine energy is a bad sign. Even if you don't think they're working together.
I remember her, but her transformation is a blind spot. What happened that turned her into the conductor?
A fragment of paracausal power touched down on Nessus, and one of her simulations rose out of the Vex net and claimed it. Originally, she was looking for her white Chioma, but the Vex she co-opted began to change, to individualize.
She will not find her wife here, but she will find a being who knows.
Guardian, I've got confirmed intel. The Vex mine maintaining the quarantine has the last strangelet we need to reach 3.
My final tethers to the Nine are snapping. I feel like a live wire fraying. The charge is still there, sparking at the ends.
You won't miss that power? The station? It's a lot to walk from.
The Nine's power, the light, it all came from outside myself. I'm looking forward to finding what's left when that all fades away.
I'm glad to hear you say that and that you're back with us. All the power in the world isn't worth having none over yourself.
That's strange. Some of the radiolaria in the Vex down here is reading as being from, well, not our timeline. They're trying to wall off our path. We'll have to push through some familiar territory to reach the mine maintaining the dampening field.
If the Guardian dismantles it, we'll have enough Strangelet capsules to safely reach the Singularity.
And 3's on the other side with our message. One step closer to an answer. One last leap of faith. If Maya can already manipulate time, why all this friction?
Unlike the Nine, they're bound by their dimension. Chronal flow applies to all. Time moves forward, never backward. I want answers too, Ikora. We're simultaneous.
Guardian down. Looks like we're about to hit resistance. Get ready.
Resistance. You have reached an end, little ghost. Seeking to avert a catastrophe after the fact. You will wear yourself dumb from battle before it ever cuts deep enough to draw blood. But you will try.
It's an ambush, Guardian. Take cover. They're trying to lock us in. Clear a path and let's look for a way to disable those barriers.
The Nine keeps stringing us along. Do they always get the future they determined?
Time is chord notation, the known possible scale of everything. But if the tone is set, why scheme against fate? Still, the Nine try, don't they?
Chords have variance to a degree. Tiny alterations in a range.
You're catching on. The Titan in me misses helping people. The city might do me some good.
I'm glad to hear you consider it. You could help us retake Seoul. Start small. Maybe Chicago. Heavy Vex presence ahead. They're trading fire with an exile raiding party.
But thankfully, no giant minotaurs this time.
The Archon must be using us as a distraction to breach the Vex quarantine.
Too bad they crossed paths with you, Guardian.
Guardian, destroying that break deactivated a nearby exile signal. I think they had sealed off one of these buildings.
This... a door in waiting. A bridge across space.
You know, there's remnants of Elixir technological signatures in the assimilated architecture here. The house must have been right on top of the anomaly before the Vex pushed them out.
The Archon's been trying to get back in ever since. It makes me think they'll make a push once we bring down the dampening field.
We'll need to be ready. But right now, we kill the noise. Kill the noise and hear our answers. Static. A hook? I haven't felt this since I was emissary. One of the 9 want to speak.
Quitter. Is that you, Buttercup? Release me from those filthy, fleshy hands.
No. My hand resigned a broken contract.
Orin, what's happening?
An unthinkable glimpse. An order. Drawing pinpoint aversion.
No. Too cryptic, Critter. You want to know how we saved you? Your big ball never tell you that. You are flimsy. For me to stay and burn a while, I'll need the one with the fetching fermions.
Ugh! Gunsmoke, stop! Speak to me, not through me. It's my will. Mine.
Quitting didn't take fully. If Maya really thought she was inevitable, she wouldn't be trying to stop us. Push through.
Everything's being scrambled by a Vex disruption signal. Follow the cabling and we should find the source. These old human colonial outposts have been here for a long time. I wonder what they were researching before they captured this. This route will take us straight to the mine, creating the dampening field. Almost there.
You never tire of learning the same lessons. Your response is not necessary. This is not a conversation. You're only meant to listen. How readily you obey fate. A leader without agency. A discarded puppet wrapped in her wires. And the weapon. Guardian, the Nine flatter you and themselves. But my enemies do not threaten me, because I do not allow it. I command their passivity. They cannot raise their weapons.
Crowding the corners of my cortex. Don't let them in. They'll burn through any non-emissary.
There it is, Guardian. That Vex mine has the capsule we need. I don't care what Maya says. We're on her doorstep and she feels it.
I've had enough of this wall in my brain. I'm looking forward to seeing it crumble.
The mine's defenses are linked to a series of shielded confluxes. I bet we can take it out with this. it, Guardian. Bring them down. Be the final Strangelet capsule. We did it. The quarantine field is failing.
We just detected a shockwave from the singularity.
My connection is still tethered. Ikora, I'm letting 9 in. Talk to me to talk to them.
We have questions.
Commander, answers later. Bask. Perihelion around my maypole. But I do have a message for the weapon to be. Guardian, we knew salt water would evaporate. Missiles aping at solar flares would collide. Humanity was destined to burn. Free and I, well, we looked at the Valley of Unknown Space. We saw our nature would nurture the conditions for uppercase light. Your resurrection was enabled by our hand for this purpose. Your action will end the looming horizon. For this you were positioned, set into orbit. This and 3's message to come. Always loved warming your armor, Sunshine.
The well is dry. I have no more answers. I'm sorry.
Wait, so the 9 are saying they planned for me to raise the Guardian?
We are not pawns. We determine our choices, not them. Let's get to the Altar of Relativity and get answers from 3 ourselves.
My will is my own. It's as frightening as it is freeing. Don't misunderstand me. I didn't choose to be a light bearer. I did choose to be an emissary. And I chose to leave. I don't miss either life. I choose to bear truth. To share fragments I've stowed away from beyond the borders of known space. The knowledge I keep will save others. But first, there is a piece of myself that I left buried to grow in old soil. My ghost, Gaul. We planted violet petals from the Golden Age. My hands, their shell. After we leave here, that's where I'll go. One brief respite until fate calls us back to right the impossible.
Everyone, we have the last Strangelet capsule. Guardian, we need to take this to the Altar of Relativity and get that door open.
This is it. I'm finally gonna learn why I'm here. Big moment. For all of you too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Round of congrats to everyone. But we're not out of the doghouse yet.
Drifter's right. I'm sure the Archon will be on the move soon now that the quarantine is down. And when he does...
Quiet. Yes, you have reached your goal and torn down my collective's quarantine. This is marginally impressive, but not beyond expectations. You are free to enter and play out your adventure. As I have said, I concluded my business there long ago. All that is left is to see if the Guardians really do make their own fate. Or if you will let the Nine puppeteer your power to their whims. Remember that it is they who manipulated you. They who spent your lives so recklessly to save themselves. They who see you as something less. All I am doing is all I have ever done. Improving a broken system. You may remain shielded. Or be drawn into a losing battle. Goodbye, Guardian.
Guardian, drop everything you're doing. The reactor for the Academy is experiencing criticality. If we don't hold Meltdown, it'll bury not just the Ionians, but trigger the Singularity's expansion. It's all at risk. Guardian, lead us in. Guardian, this is an emergency. The Ionian's energy reactor is on the verge of going supercritical. We need to shut it down, now.
Didn't y'all just fix this thing?
Since the Guardian shut the Vex quarantine down, they're figuring out a way to get to the 9 without it.
Wild hunch, but I think the Guardian found the cause of the meltdown.
Focus on the reactor. Keep the Ionian safe. Then deal with the invulnerable Vex. We don't have much time, Guardian. Fight your way through and disable any power nodes you can find.
Every energy plant has to have a supply of coolant on hand to submerge the core in an emergency.
If you can find it, I'll route it back to the reactor, Hero. Go!
We need to get the Ionians evacuated. If this place goes nuclear, the temple, the caldera, everything is squarely within the blast radius.
Damn it. The Ionians are too dispersed to reach all of them before boiling conversion.
Guardian, buy us as much time as you can. We'll assess our options.
Damn it! This thing's hemorrhaging coolant like a severed head!
I'm beneath the reactor. Its reservoir is cracked, but I can contain the pressure. Ophiuchus will just have to continually res me.
Ikora!
Don't worry about me.
What if we could get help? 3 wanted us here alive. What if they could intervene?
Temps aren't stable yet, but we're making headway. Ikora, you holding together the coolant walls?
Something's wrong. 3 isn't talking. I just see flashes. Brooklyn, but everything's on fire. Is this the collapse? Oily rain? Heads tip back. People don't know it's irradiated.
Lodi! We're running out of time!
Talk to me, please! 3, we need help! It's just showing me things. An eruption? In a tundra? A bear boiling in mud? In a forest of ash? 3! The reactor is melting down! We need you to help us! Stop showing me a meteor? Talk to me! Damn it, why are you showing me this? Why won't you help?
Cut the connection! Lodi! Orin! Find cover! We're on our own.
The unknowable god doesn't want to help. What a surprise. They're just gonna leave you dying on repeat. One node left, hero.
Lodi! Are you all right? Louis!
That was the collapse. And then a little earlier. And then way earlier. 3 won't talk, won't help. They just wanted to show us disasters.
We've got something more reliable than a god. Guardian, my faith lies with you. If they won't save us, then we'll just have to save ourselves.
Oh, hell yeah, sister. Now you get it.
The Nine murdered a mortal so she could be useful in her next life, and abducted her friend to use him as a puppet. They'll casually rearrange the life of the Guardian, but won't lift a finger to help. My role may be set, but I will not play it passively. I will hold a reactor together with my bare hands. I will move time and space to hold them accountable. And I will enact my future on my own terms. If the Nine want Ikora erased so badly, then here I am!
There you are.
Your will is your own.
Hell yes! That's what I'm talking about!
You were underneath that thing, Miss Ray?
Holding it together in there while the Guardian got it stable out here.
You always were a tough one. How many times did you die?
As many as it took to finish the job.
You've got everything you need Split that Hydra from the reactor. Then, let's finish the job.
Shut down again. How stable are the Ionian's power sources? Will the altar still hold?
It's not a permanent solution, but our efforts should have given the Ionian's generators a serviceable amount of juice. The altar should remain stable, and we'll still be able to get through.
3's waiting for us on the other side of that door.
Ms. Ray, not to rush us, but the Vex are flocking to the Singularity. We should follow. I want answers.
As do I. You and I have come too far to not know the reason why we're here. And we're only beginning to understand what they changed for the Guardian.
Wait, Guardian, Orin, hold up. I feel like the L train during rush hour. All of them are queuing up in here. The 9 need us.
The vote. Of course they want to do it now. I remember my own transfer. There wasn't much fanfare. So it was miscreated. They seemed eager to move on.
Guardian, hurry. The 9 want to talk. Formally. And they're not too keen on waiting.
Yes. Pressed glass. Light shining. Standard procedure. Let them in. They're here.
Oh, good. I was worried they would start without...
Nice of you to answer. Quitter, your vessel is required.
You may borrow.
Your captured audience assembles.
Invitation to notarize transfer. Tonight the weapon answered.
Speak what eight have spoken.
Quiet your clods and gases. We all have else things to be. But only one right now.
Behold the vessel. Old.
And new.
This quitter is an outcast, but still connected and useful.
This beautiful boy is the emissary to be. Paperwork permitting. And you, Guardian, you are the weapon we chose by right and trial.
The weapon guides the transfer on the edge of its paracausality to shroud this chained sequence, to fell Vex and parry projection. Be ours.
Kneel! Kneel. And let your Navi quarks press the hadrons. Do all present here ratify this contract? Aye or nay?
Denial.
Predictable. My vote is aye. Obviously.
Emissary appointment, declination. Weaponized flesh tool, affirmation.
As you sustain us, you will sustain us. For acceptance.
Yea. Unsheath the weapon. But reactionary choices. Empty-seated. Nay to the emissary.
Stupid to ignore threat, arm ourselves. We never move without intermediaries. Aye to all.
Complete, abject, insulted refusal.
Ridiculous! 6! We are at war! One casts our vote in the affirmative.
This council sees the weapon loosed, but stands unmoved to ratify an emissary. 8 votes cast. 1 remains. It is required. Weapon, you are charged with seeking the final vote. 3. Our vacant gives you what you need.
Never again.
I'm gonna throw up.
Seek 3 at the altar. All paths converge, Guardian weapon.
Guardian, all the 9 seem to know what the weapon is for, but I don't have a clue.
All I felt when they were talking about whatever you were for was terror.
Guardian, you have one new call.
I know folks speculate about my haul behind my back. But what they don't realize is, I don't know a damn thing about it either. Arnor called it an engine of pure potential. But potential for what? I never knew, or cared. Long as I fed it dark motes, it kept spitting out primevals, and that was good enough for me. But since we arrived here, that old hall's been acting real squirrely, like it's trying to give me the slip. I never thought of the motes we put in there as sentient. Of course, all the baddies you dusted probably felt some kind of way about it. But the motes themselves, I reckoned they were just leftover scraps from your target practice. But the way the hall's yapping at me, I think maybe they wanted to be dunked. And now, they want out.
Lodi, before we get further, the woman you knew, what was her name?
Are you sure you need to know that, Ikora?
I want to know who I'm fighting for.
You're fighting for the most fearless person I know. And when we get to that god, you're going to ask him why they killed Dr. Nella Davis.
The transfer was successful. My senses are beginning to settle. I feel smaller.
Couldn't help but count while you all were calling the 9, but, where was 3?
Absent. I remember I know why. I'm supposed to tell you something.
You have your chisel, Orin. Use it, and find us clarity. The Vex and the Singularity. Maya's goal has always been to return to the Golden Age. But a black hole won't get her there.
But maybe a member of the 9 could. She came to make a deal with 3. Trade the current age for the Golden Age?
A trade like that wouldn't be possible. The 9 can bring anything forward in time, but nothing ever goes backward. 3 would have told her as much.
Maya's echo means no isn't an answer.
This sounds like it isn't about simple refusal, though. It's a matter of physical impossibility.
When Maya spoke to us in the Gorge, she said she did what she came here to do. But we're not back in the Golden Age. What did she try to do?
The echo can compel, but it cannot force the impossible. We can't worry about this now, Guardian. We need the Archon out of the way. Then we'll deal with Maya.
Giva must not be approached. Exiles, prevent the deathless advance!
Is anyone else freezing? Muscles are locked? I feel awful. Something's wrong. Orin?
I felt that too. The day after I quit. Joints locking up, frozen head to toe. Something was very, very wrong. The Archon is hiding the truth from his people. Drifter, you need to bring your ship close. I'm remembering part of the message I was meant to deliver. Ready the derelict? Bring the haul.
What? Why?
Because I'm supposed to tell you now.
nearly an eyesight. There's a lot of exiles on the ground.
More than any number can count. Annihilate 1 and 3 will roar in my voice. The Giver and its answers are unreachable. Exiles, take down the deathless ship!
Taking heavy fire!
No! Guardian down. Guardian down.
exiles just ran outside. Archon's not bluffing. Can't get close to whatever the hell that is. I'm taking too much fire.
No. This is how it happens, isn't it?
I don't need to breathe. Ikora, why don't I need to breathe? Am I dying?
Hold on, Louis. We're almost there.
My chisel is sharp. The message is clear. I understand what was forgotten. 3 is dead.
The 9 that invited us here is dead?
I'm so sorry. It was like a block in my mind. The 9 wouldn't let me remember until now.
They brought us here to tell us something. They rearranged our entire lives. For what?
There has to be a reason. What type of message are we supposed to hear from the dead?
The end of endings has been revealed. See how the blood of the giver feeds the singularity.
They're using 3's body to widen the black hole. They made the singularity. We need to hurry before we're overtaken.
Train the giver. Devour its flesh beyond flesh, my exiles. Coast the infinite. And you, deathless, I will cut you down long before the singularity grows large enough to swallow you.
The Archon is the only thing between us and the answers we deserve. Bury him, Guardian.
The grand design speaks of the end, dear ones. All of this is as foretold. It is why we prepare, why we readied our bodies and conglomerated our minds.
Archon is inside that thing. It appears to be drawing power from the catch above. We'll need to power it down to get him out. Guardian, let's get to that catch.
Exiles, did I not foretell of a ruinous villain? The grand design promises victory in the face of our greatest foe.
Guardian, down. Guardian down. Power's draining from the catch. That should get the Archon out into the open.
Kepler will rend into infinity as exiles return, riding the miracles of the Event Horizon home. Carcass as you are fated to die. Face me, weapon of the Nine! This was not the path of the grand design. Incorrect, false, trickster, deathless, ruiners. More, my exiles. Recommand the servitors. Whatever they will find is their last. We must lead the singularity. We must rise to become House Ascendant. Cry and praise for the second whirlwind!
I just had the craziest idea I've ever had in my life. What if we can wake it up? What if that's what the hall is for? Play the game. I spent years filling it with energy. The hall knows what it was made for.
3 intervened, so Drifter would bring the means to revive them. Brought Lodi to give them a voice. Summoned the weapon and myself, so we would hear their message.
I don't want to see 3 again. You were brought here to raise the dead. Bring them to life. They'll close the tear, wake them, and listen.
Lauren, wait. This call is different than the others? What happens to me if they're dead?
I guess you'll find out.
Guess so. Whatever you see, don't worry about me. I was made for this. Line's open, weapon.
On your signal, hero.
You got us here, Guardian. Now get us the answers we deserve. When you're ready.
Not running from this one. As much as I'd like to. Not every day you resurrect a god.
You stand here, that I would not die alone again.
If you cannot give me what I want, what can you do?
Still I die afraid, at your sister's command.
You are a being who bends all rules. Why do you fear breaking this one?
A death ensures extinction. Listen carefully, children of my earth. To survive, you must bind the nine. It cannot be done. The weapon will do it. Strike true, weapon. Goodbye, Ambassador. Goodbye, Commander.
Come, coward.
That's a neat little trick. Thanks, Fred. I'm fine.
dead again. Our 3 is dead again. The 9 can't exist here. Same as we can't exist in a painting.
3 said their death starts a chain reaction that leads to extinction. But if they went through all the trouble to get us here, to send a message to the children of their Earth...
then it must be a warning, not a promise. 3 gave us instructions to prevent extinction.
Bind the 9. A dying wish to save us. We're asked to do something we're told is impossible, on threat of universal extinction. All 3 of our lives altered by the 9 to bring us here, to receive the message. Guardian, Weapon, Ambassador Lodi, and me. Vanguard Commander, apparently.
And I never meant to go into politics. I still don't know what I am now. But I know I'm still me. I want to help. I want to say hello. The heavens aren't raining fire yet. All we can do is pray that 3 bought us the time we need and get to work.
It's back. The hall is back, like it never left. Take a good hard look. 9 touched. They won't let me go. We eat our hearts out trying to help, but things always get worse. That's fate. Long life just means you get a good view of the carnage.
We're not out of the game yet.
Yeah. We're in it. As pawns.
I'll go after him. We will figure this out.
Yes, ma'am. You both know my situation. This is my time now. I want to be of service. Is there a place on Earth for me?
What kind of colleague would I be to leave an agent behind?
When 3 spoke through me, I think I saw time the way they do. Flat. Like I was high up and could see my life all at once. It was hard to make out where I came from. It was so far away, but I could see where I am. I fit here. Like 3 knew I was the best agent to poach. What can I say? I bring that special something you won't find for another 1,000 years. From that vantage, way up high, I saw that I don't go back. And that someday that'll be okay. Because I'm needed here. I can be the emissary humanity needs. Create a bridge between us and the extra-dimensional suits. Bind the 9. That'll be dangerous. Sounds fun. I'm the emissary now. 2 feet in 2 worlds. Orin said first thing she did was make a new look for the role. I think she was onto something. Everyone in the future just has the worst sense of style. I'm sorry. I can't hold it in anymore. You are wonderful people, but you all look ridiculous. Anyway, if you're looking for next steps, Weapon, I've got intel on something that might interest you. The 9 found something from the old office. Thought you might be interested.
Guardian, Lodi shared with me what 3 told you, showed you. That their death was at the conductor's hand. She didn't get what she wanted, but in her tantrum opened something more frightening. The singularity. It's coming from inside 3. It will lead to unknown space. Follow her, and find what the conductor and her Vex intend to do, now that they killed the one being who could help them.